Dr. Greg here, three-time Olympic medalist and world champion in track and field. Today we're going to talk about the state of emergency that is facing Jamaica's 400 meters men. And I can tell you from where I sit, if they don't get the right help right now, then 400 meter great performances may only be a dream. Now, I must say congratulations to Christopher Taylor because he performed well at the World Championship. I must give him respect. He dug deep for that semi-final performance, and I can say continue doing what you're doing, Chris Taylor. We are proud of you. But when we look on the overall scheme of what is going on with the state of the 400 meters training program in Jamaica, whether the athlete is found within the country or outside the country, we keep seeing a common denominator where the athletes seem to lack that guts and determination and perseverance to push on through regardless of how they are feeling. Now I'm going to narrow it down to four main things. Yes, four main things. One is bad coaching, because I realize that a lot of the coaches do not seem to understand what it takes to develop 400 meters male runners over a period of time. And I will sum it up to say bad coaching is one of the main reasons we find that the men are struggling in the 400 meters. The second thing is, it's obvious that when you watch these guys run, that we don't see that strong mind, that mental strength, that determination. So I would say the second thing is that they don't have a strong mind. And if that mindset is not changed, we will continue to see the 400 meter men struggling to hold on to something that was once theirs. The third main issue I find is poor race strategy. It is obvious that these young men do not know what to do when they're out there. And how do I know this? The strategy is all over the place. 1 minute they go out too fast, the other minute they go out too slow. Another minute you could tell that they're just daydreaming. They are just not in the race. So I sum this up to poor race strategy. I also see that they lack that mental preparation. You know, one of the toughest things before a 400 meters race is for you to have that mental focus where you can see the race from start to finish. And if you can see the race from start to finish, chances are you're going to go in that race and you're just going to hope for the best, even though you have no clue what you need to do. So, I would say that the men need mental training, mental preparation to give them that competitive edge. Now I can tell you, looking at the group of guys that I see that represented Jamaica this year, that talent is not the issue. These young men are talented. Yes, but it doesn't matter if you mismanage talent, you will get failure, and you can manage mediocre talent and still get a high degree of success. So I can tell you from where I sit that talent is not the issue. It comes back to those four main things that I just identified: bad coaching, weak mind, poor race strategy, and lack of mental preparation. Now, one of the things that I find with these 400 meter runners or these 400 meters male athletes is that they seem not to listen to good instructions. And I am wondering, where did they develop that mindset? Because in my time, the Danny McFarlane, the Davian Clark, the Michael McDonald, the Michael Blackwood, the Roxbert Martin, these guys were students of the game. These guys usually listen to good advice, to good instructions. So it is obvious that where I sit, listening is an asset. And if these young men are not willing to listen, then they will continue to reap the reward of their actions. And the reward is what? absolute failure. It is also obvious to me that this crop of 400-meter guys seem to have the wrong concept of what it takes to be a world-class 400-meter runner. And I'm saying that to say that you can see that they are totally disconnected from winning. You know, you put them in some good situations, good positions, and they always seem to bring out the worst in the situation that you put them in. So, and I am saying this, that if you have the wrong concept of what it takes, then it means that you will not prepare yourself to do the right things. It is also apparent that these young developing 400-meter runners for Jamaica, that they are not given the right information. Information in terms of training, information in terms of nutrition, information in terms of race strategy, information in terms of warm up. It is obvious that as I watch these young men, I see that they are given the wrong information, and as a result of that, it prevents them from being the best version of themselves. I also see where many of them lack confidence. Now, if you're not training right, if you have a weak mind, if you do not have the proper race strategy, and if you lack the proper mental training, then how are you going to have high level of confidence? Confidence is when you're sure of what you need to do and you can go out and execute what you were trained to do. Now, if you're not trained properly, it is going to be hard for you to execute that race strategy correctly. If you're not trained properly, then it means that your race strategy is going to be all over the place. And Aristotle was right when he said that we are what we repeatedly do. So if these young 400-meter runners want to achieve excellence, then they have to get it right when it counts the most. Now, here is the good thing. We can turn this around. But if we turn this around, there are a few things that must be in place. The coaches must understand what it takes to produce champions over a long period of time. They must work on their athletes' minds from day one. They must make sure that the athletes understand the importance of race strategy. And they must make sure that the mental preparation is integrated in every aspect of their training. Now, coaches must have the right personalities. If you want to connect with the developing 400-meter runners, especially the males, you must have the right personality. You must have a personality that knows how to communicate effectively so the athlete can understand clearly what you are saying. The coaches must also put in place a system, a coaching system that caters for the individual athlete. You know, one of the things I also find that is causing a lot of issues with the 400-meter development, whether in Jamaica or outside of Jamaica, is that everyone is focused on speed, speed, speed. And speed is not the issue because these crop of 400-meter runners are faster than our crop, my time. Yet we were more consistent than them, even though they may run faster than us in terms of personal records. But when you look at what they're emphasizing on, you will see that it is going to be difficult for them to duplicate the performance time and time again. So speed is not the issue. Strategy is the issue. If you don't have the right race strategy, it doesn't matter how fast you are or how strong you are, it is going to be difficult to achieve any form of success. Now, the good thing is, I am willing to teach these coaches the strategy. I am willing to show them that they are working the wrong system. And if you're working the wrong system, you will never get the most out of your athletes, regardless of how talented he might be. I thank you all for listening. I am Dr. Gregory Horton. Have a blessed day.